Meanwhile, there's an uproar in the Tweed over the Tweed District Hospital's recent closure of its intensive care unit. The hospital was forced to temporarily shut down the ward on Wednesday, transferring several patients to other hospitals in the region.
We had to move some patients because of the resignation of a doctor.
Northern Rivers Health CEO Tony Sherbon says patients are transferred to other intensive care units on a regular basis, but admits this was an unusual situation.
It was a particular situation that arose that we couldn't do much about because a specialist was unable to fulfil a role.
While a specialist has taken over the role of acting director, allowing the intensive care ward to reopen late yesterday, Dr Sherbon has given no guarantee it won't happen again.
It's been nearly 2 years coming, but now the Central Coast can boast a new complex for its youth. The $2 million facility was officially opened today and already has received a hefty workout.
We established the centre and we want to reach out with all sorts of services from this centre in terms of employment training, counselling, creative arts, sport and fitness, just to really reach the youth and touch their hearts and bring new life and new hope to them.
It's hoped the new facility named Oasis will become a haven for the youth seeking some kind of entertainment or even job training.
The centre was established because we felt there was a desperate need to reach out to youth because of the high suicide youth rate here on the Central Coast.
But plans don't stop there. The complex will also offer holiday programs run by the Salvation Army. The idea to give local youth a helping hand has even been given the big thumbs up by some well-known soapy stars.
A place like this just creates so many opportunities for a young person, basically gets them off the streets and doing something productive, doing something constructive.
Adam Harper, NBN News. Setting a pace of around 7 kilometres an hour, Trudy Ray will have clocked up 100 kilometres by the time she reaches Westmead Hospital in Sydney tonight. Despite the roadside assistance and support, Trudy is running alone. The run should finish around 8 o'clock tonight at Westmead Hospital. And from turf to surf, Avoca Beach hosted the 6th annual Schoolboys Bodyboard Bash today. More than 80 boarders took to the surf, whipping up the waves for the judges.
It's being embraced by the young people, which are traditionally the people that have flocked to the beach in the greatest numbers.
It's the only event of its kind on the coastal circuit and has attracted bodyboarders from all corners of the country.
They're seeing that it's not just a step to something bigger and better, maybe as surfing. It's a lifestyle and a sport.
Competition ends tomorrow. Adam Harper, NBN News. Police arrived at the bloody scene just after 7 this morning, responding to calls that a man lay wounded outside a home in 3rd Avenue in Toukley. Apparently he'd been shot several times and left to die in the street following an altercation with another man.
A number of witnesses that we've yet to interview. We do know that there were eyewitnesses to the incident.
When police arrived, the man believed to be in his 30s was already dead. And although at this stage the reason for the altercation is not yet known, investigations are continuing. After securing the area, police detained a 25-year-old man from a nearby house, along with a high-powered rifle.
We were told that there was a person armed with a firearm in a nearby house. We eventually were able to get that man out of the house without incident.
No arrests have been made, but police are questioning a man in relation to the shooting. Meanwhile, the body of the man gunned down is to undergo a post-mortem examination tomorrow to assist police investigations. Adam Harper, NBN News. They may look intimidating, but members of the Central Coast's American Motorcycle Club proved they have hearts of gold, revving up to support the Salvation Army by doing a Christmas charity toy run.
We're hoping to pick up a lot of toys that we can give to kids this Christmas, because we found that one of the things that we love to do is give things away.
After motoring through the various towns along the coast, the group of more than 100 riders wound its way to Woy Woy, where they handed over the toys they had collected.
This is fantastic, just to be able to see these kids when you give them the presents. It makes everything worthwhile.
But it's not only the needy kids who will receive benefits from the charity ride.
Sometimes I think these adults enjoy it far more than the kids do, but no, the reality of it is at Christmas time we want to be able to give a child at Christmas time one new toy.
The toys will be distributed to Gosford and Umina halls over the next few days and then passed on to local children. Adam Harper, NBN News.
We're having the rerun. It's the tech rider, Alex Tribble. The runner-up to Lee Richardson in the World Under-21 Championship has only a lap to go, and he looks like taking this big piece of the Jack Daniels Golden Helmet Series out without too much trouble.
The St John Ambulance Service in the Hunter is made up of 400 trained volunteers who attend major community and sporting events between Newcastle, Woy Woy and Muswellbrook. But in recent years, finding a place to base their operation has proven a challenge. Coca-Cola had allowed the service to use this Broadmeadows shed free of charge, but when Coke sold the building recently, the new owners weren't told of the arrangement and the shed has been leased to a new tenant.
So we were at Sandgate in an old dairy for approximately 4 years. We then moved, we had to get out, and Coca-Cola graciously said we could come here. We came here in January this year, and due to circumstances, Coca-Cola has now sold this building and we were told to get out by Friday of this week.
The news is heartbreaking for volunteers like Les, who say a quick response to emergencies will be impossible without all equipment under one roof.
It would not function. We must be realistic. The full operations could not possibly get. If there's been disasters or major sporting events or visits by dignitaries, we could not possibly function.
The group needs to find a new shed before the doors close for the last time on Friday. Paul Lobb, NBN News.
Robert Gross's decomposed body was found almost 2 years after he went missing, buried underneath the Rocky Point home he shared with wife Nolene. But just a day after the gruesome discovery, hidden listening devices recorded a conversation between Anderson and her friend Cole Jeffries in her Central Coast home. Played during a Supreme Court trial in Newcastle Court today, Jeffries was heard to ask what police had found. When Anderson replied human bones, he paused when she then said it was Bob. During the trial, the Gosford man confirmed. She went on to say, "I did do it. You're the first person I've told." Jeffries also admitted in the witness stand that after that conversation he told Nolene that he didn't blame her, didn't hold it against her, and as far as he was concerned, she was provoked. That was also after hearing how during an argument with Mr Gross she allegedly picked up a piece of twine on the kitchen table and then stuck it around her husband's neck before asking him, "How do you like it?" The conversation went on. "I just wrapped him up and pulled him down to the back door and put him under the house." Jeffries then asked, "What, did you bury him or what, or just leave him there?" She replied, "Nah, I buried him, got all the sand here." The trial continues tomorrow.
Having spent the last 5 days on site at Pacific Linen in Cardiff, these 5 high school students have been trying to clean up the business's occupational health and safety.
They get our recommendations, they get fresh mind views and just things like that, things I haven't thought of before.
And although 5 days isn't a long period of time to get to know a problem and work on it, these students are really making an impression.
I'd say we'd be utilising probably about 60 or 70% of the ideas they've come up with.
There are 13 E-teams in businesses around the Hunter, and it seems that their services will be called upon in the future.
I've already got a couple of projects in mind now, probably with safety in mind, that I'll have the E-teams back into this place as soon as possible.
And today their findings were released before the business's management, a few simple suggestions which may well be implemented in the near future. Adam Harper, NBN News.
Wind gusts of over 40 kilometres an hour made for challenging conditions on Throsby Creek. It's the first time the stretch of water at the northern end of the Honeysuckle development has been used for a major sporting event. Crews from Newcastle, Scone, Armidale and Taree took part, using Wickham Beach and the adjacent foreshore to prepare their craft.
The conditions are usually always quite good. This would be about as bad as it gets today, unfortunately, but it also brings the regatta right into the middle of Newcastle, into the sight and sound of everybody in the community.
Over 100 races were held on the 400-metre course, testing the skills of competitors.
Quite technically challenging, so it presents quite a challenge to anybody to take it up, but it's very enjoyable. The aesthetics of the sport itself are something that keeps people going to it.
I think that once people come down and give it a go, they're quite pleasantly surprised at how much fun it is.
Paul Lobb, NBN News. They're known as the Heartbreakers and are sure to live up to their title this Friday night when they perform in front of fans for the first time. The 26-member squad was hard at training today under the watchful eye of coach Lee Sterry and several board members. The club hopes the girls will add to the spectacle of home games.
A lot more of glitz and glamour and something to look at the halftime opening entertainment.
It's every girl's dream to be a cheerleader. I've wanted to do it all my life.
Yeah, hopefully it'll draw a really big crowd. But yeah, it will be good. The fans should love it.